A friend and I wanted to compare art styles. So how we did this was we decided to draw one specific thing. We ended up drawing one of our neighbor's new baby kittens. We drew Lippy and Tippy. Tippy is a calico girl and Lippy is a Siamese boy. I first drew Lippy. Since Tippy is a cuddler, I knew I wanted her sleeping on Lippy, so I gave him a kind of confused but loving look as if he were looking down at his sister. So I'm pretty sure this drawing made my dog jealous because I drew an animal that is not her. Yep, so I guess she doesn't like me anymore. After I drew Lippy, it was time to draw Tippy, which she was significantly harder than Lippy because she's laying down and sprawled out and he's just sort of sitting there. I also had a lot of trouble with getting her head shape right because it always looks sort of like a smashed oval and not quite as fluffy and cute as Lippy. I made her arm outreached with her little toes sort of spread out to make it look like she was stretching. She was also a little bit fluffier than Lippy, so I gave her a few more tufts than he had. I could not get Tippy's leg right. I drew it and redrew it and I couldn't get it. So what I ended up doing was I went to my mom and asked for some help. So what I kept doing wrong was trying to make the haunch of the leg too pronounced and also the ankle too pronounced. But when a cat stretches out, you don't really see them that much. So thanks, Mom, for helping me make my drawing not look like trash. If the drawing looks different, that's because I accidentally deleted the footage to the second half of the drawing before I could save it on the editing app. So I traced it with my light table and did the second half on camera again so that I could finish my video. I gave the drawing very dark, thick outlines so that my drawing and my friend's drawing would sort of match since we are comparing each other's styles. I will show you her time-lapsed drawing at the end. Once I was done outlining, I started doing the background. So since the background's gonna take me a while, I thought rather than boring you with that, I'd show you some more pictures of Tippy and Lippy hanging out together. Now my background's done. Now I've got to write those Z's before the paper has time to dry so it bleeds just a little bit. It's very important that you don't leave your watercolor pencils to dry. And now I'm going to work on my little kittens. I colored them very dark and with a lot of pressure so that you could see all of their little details. Oh yeah, I later realized that I hadn't done the grass yet. So when I was doing their markings, I wanted to make sure I got them as close to the real cats as possible. So as I was drawing, I went back and forth between my reference and I went through and made sure that all of Tippy's markings were accurate to her, which was kind of difficult since she is a calico, so there's multiple colors on her. Lippy wasn't quite as hard since he is a Siamese, and most Siamese look pretty similar. I made little gradients of gray everywhere that he has gray markings, since that's pretty much what Siamese cats look like. I added some final details of pink, which was the insides of their ears and Tippy's nose. I thought I was done, so I went ahead and signed it, but I forgot to do Lippy's nose, so I'm going to do that. And now it's time for my friend's version of the drawing.
I am drawing Tippy and Lippy. Tippy is a calico cat and Lippy is a Siamese cat. You will see later that I went in and changed the L in Lippy to a T for Tippy because I mixed up the names, and Lippy, I am actually drawing Tippy. Tippy is named Tippy because it has a white tip, and I am going through and I'm just drawing the body and the head. So now I'm going through and I'm adding all of these splotches and patches to Tippy and all of the additives like the whiskers and the ears. So if you hear any tiny humans screeching in the background, that's because I have a whole group of random people over. Now I am starting on Lippy, and Lippy is the Siamese cat, so the only real details is the tip of Lippy's tail and the tip of his paws and ears. So now I am going through and fine lining everything with a black pen and gear pen. I changed, as you can see, the L to a T for Tippy, and I'm erasing all the pencil underneath. And then I'm just going to go through and fine line all of the details from both cats and Lippy's name. So now I am finishing up with my fine lining. I am now going and coloring in all of the splotches and patches on Lippy with 2 different shades of brown from the Crayola Signature brush and fine point markers. I am using the dark chocolate and kind of dirt brown colors, and also filling in some of the areas with black marker as well. So now I am just filling in all the details on Lippy, the tip of the tail, the inside of the ears, and then I am done.